How are you, man? You good? What's your name? Dave. David. When you're naughty. Yeah. What'd you do, Dave? Semi-retired. Used to be full retired, but can't. I mean, I'm full retired when I hit it about a bit and put a hair bubble around it. but until then, I'm just semi-retired, like. Oh, fuck off. You've all done the little elastic band around it. What did you do, Dave? He was a roofer. Quality. Do you need any roofer? I'll get Dave. He's just semi-retired. Only works Friday afternoons. Where were you roofing? On the Wirral. The proper thatch. I don't know what happened then. I just heard like shell suits. Did you hear that then? Like swishy swish. I was like, fucking hell. And I wonder what went on. Did someone go out? Right, Sam. And you got up to let him out. Are you with him? Why don't you shuffle down one? And then he can sit there. One of them memes. And then you don't have to do the swish, swishy, swish, swish when he comes back. No? Fine. I mean, that sounded like a logical explanation. Who are you with, Dave? Crew? Is that your crew? How long you been together? Fuck. 31, Dave. Don't forget that one. Yeah, years. Yeah, I know. Yeah, years. I know what years are. Where'd you meet? The internet. Fucking yeah, the internet. He fucking left an advert in Loot 30 years ago. Fucking signing the newsagents. Dave Rufo would like to meet. In the pub, old school. Sauntered up. Like that. Fuck, they don't do that now. They don't. Really? Lucky Dave doesn't remember that. You were doing it, Dave. What was 30 years? What's that? Was it like 1989? 1990? Tunes then as well. 80, so it's fucking longer than 30 years ago. You need to sort your heads out, you pair. 18-year-old has no idea about the old chatting. Tommy, lad! You won't know about this, but they used to like talk to their heads. You've never ever like tried to pull anyone without a mobile phone, have you? Oh, it's a madness, you know. You used to have to go out, like, in the club. By the way, you're 18, so you were what, 2001. So when In the Club, which is the best song ever written, and I'll fight any Leonard Cohen fan that disagrees, but In the Club, best song ever written, 2003 that came out. So when you first heard In the Club, you were 2. When I first heard In the Club, I was fucking in the club, right? Out in the club, trying to pull girls without a mobile phone. Madness, mate. You used to have to stand there. It was like fishing. Wasn't it? You stand there like that with you just looking at your swim. Seeing what bait have you got on? Jupe, yeah, jupe. Got jupe. I've put some ground bait on Armani Code. I've ground baited it. Just ground baited it up, wait for the, and then you'd wait, right? And then when they walk, you'd be there like that, 2-stepping out of time in the Timberlands you were too white for. And they won't even be the good clubs, like the clubs that play like In the Club. They'd be like the shit clubs that played like Venga and that. So you'd just be there like fucking boom, 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 like bang out of time. And then one would go past and you'd be like, oi! And she'd carry on walking, Tommy, because that's no way to talk to a woman, is it? And then one would stop and she'd start talking to you. Like, I don't know, maybe she'd show a bit of interest. Maybe she heard that you had like a Saturday job or a Fiesta on finance. And you talk to her for about 2 hours, Tom, yeah? Mate, this is going to blow your little head off, this. And then after 2 hours, if she realised you weren't a threat, yeah, she'd give you a passcode, right? And that passcode, Tommy, it often began with 01. And what that was called, mate, that was called a landline. Landline thing. Pop, pop, pop is the landline thing. And then you'd hold it in your hand, the paper with the ink on. Ink is in pens, Tommy, is in pens. And you'd hold it and just hope that no tunes came on. Because if a fucking tune came on, you'd sweat the ink off dancing. She'd just be there going, mate, if fucking Auntie Up comes on now, I'm losing this girl's number forever. Because I'm going to get that fool, kidnap that fool. And then... that song came on once. You remember that song? Annie Up. My mate got headbutted by a goth. And, mate, the goth lost it. Auntie Up came, kidnap that fool. And he fucking butted him straight out of Roses in Chester. Fucking butted him from the top floor down to fucking Pop World at the bottom. And then what you do, Tom, you go home with your little fucking piece of paper, like, thinking like the King Dick, like, skip home, mate, so happy. You'd be like Charlie Bucket, like, I got a golden ticket. And then you know what you do, Tom? Fuck all, till 7:30 the next day, because you couldn't phone before tea. And you'd unfurl the scroll, like, oh, like that. And then you'd sit on your stairs while your dad laughed at you. You'd be there like that, and your dad would be like, hey. And you'd be like, hey. You'd be like, fuck off, Dad, that's why Mum left. Fucking dickhead. Take them Lonsdales off, you nons. Fucking hate. I went on a date with a girl and she showed up in Lonsies, right? Fucking proper Lonsdales, like the proper... fucking, you know, the slip-on fucking Taekwondales, the Taekwondo Lonsdales. You know, the karate shoes, man. I saved her in my phone as Trabi Alonzi, right? She was like, oh, what are we doing? I looked at the Lonsdales. I was like, oh, bowling now. And I took her bowling so I didn't have to look at her shoes. She's doing all right now. She's happy with 2 kids. She's a lawyer. She's probably glad that I didn't want to go out with her because she had trainers on.